Hi everyone, and welcome back to Awriting Guy. So in this particular episode is gonna be quite a long one because it's not going to be quite related to writing, but it does. Today we're going to look at how to really study the craft of writing with one great novel at a time. If you've ever wondered how to improve your writing by learning from the greats, this episode is for you. So today I'm going to counting down the top 10 novels you should be reading to become a better writer. These aren't just classics books you have heard about. They are essential reads that teach powerful lessons on plot, character, how to build their development, the world building, and more. Throughout this episode, I'll help you guys explore what makes these novels special and, more importantly, what they can teach us about writing. Whether you're an experienced author or someone who's just beginning to write, this might be a spoiler review that will offer new insights to take your craft to the next level. So grab your notebooks or maybe settle with your favorite cup of tea or coffee. I have a cup of hojicha with me right here. And let's dive into the world of stories that have shaped the literary landscape. And of course, before we begin, please head over to awritingguy.com for more writing instruments reviews, articles such as this one, and writing goods. Again, the business cursive books that I've made have been well received by you guys. 1,000 copies sold worldwide, and the reprint is selling out very soon. So if you would like to get a copy to improve your daily handwriting, please head over there as well. Code Inktober is still available in the website at checkout. Right, the first of the novels that we're going to be looking at today is going to be one of the most beloved and iconic novels of all time. It's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It's more than just a love story. It's a masterclass in character development, dialogue, and wit. If you want to write characters that feel real, engaging, and complex, this book should be at the top of your reading list. Now, let's break down exactly why. What makes Jane Austen's writing so captivating is her incredible skill with dialogue. In Pride and Prejudice, Austen doesn't rely on long description to tell us who her characters. Instead, she lets the character reveal themselves through the way they speak and interact with each other. Take Elizabeth Bennet, for example. From the very beginning, we know she's smart, confident, and has a strong moral compass. And how do we know this? Not because Austen tells us, but because Elizabeth's wit and playful banter show us who she is. Her quick, sharp responses to Mr. Darcy tell us more about her than any lengthy exposition ever. Now let's talk about Mr. Darcy, one of the most famous characters in English literature. At first, he seems arrogant, reserved, and even a bit unlikable. But as the story unfolds, we start to see his true character. Again, this isn't through direct narration, but through his interactions with Elizabeth. As their relationship evolves, so does our understanding of Darcy. This is one of the key writing lessons from Pride and Prejudice. Use dialogue to reveal character. As writers, it's easy to fall into the trap of telling our readers how a character feels or what they're thinking. But Austen shows us that the best way to reveal character development is through what the characters say, and more importantly, how they say it. Another brilliant aspect of Austen's style is her use of free indirect discourse. This is a fancy way of saying that she blends the third-person narrative with the character's thought. Instead of writing, Elizabeth felt embarrassed, Austen might write something like, "Why has she been so foolish to believe she would ever love her?" By doing this, Austen allows us to experience Elizabeth's internal world without breaking the flow of the story. As writers, we can learn a lot from this technique. This allows the reader to feel connected to the characters without getting bogged down in lengthy descriptions or overt explanations. So, the takeaway from Pride and Prejudice is this: let your characters speak for themselves. Don't tell your readers who they are. Show them through dialogue, through how your characters interact with each other, and through subtle hints in their inner monologue. Now that we have explored Austen's genius, let's move on to another classic that offers a completely different set of writing lessons. Our next book is going to be 1984 by George Orwell. 1984 is a novel that is as relevant today as it was when it was first published in 1949. George Orwell's dystopian masterpiece is a study in world building, political allegory, and the power of language. At its core, 1984 is a warning about the dangers of totalitarianism, but for writers, it offers invaluable lessons on how to create a fully realized world and how to make that world feel terrifyingly real. Orwell doesn't bombard us with endless details about the world of 1984. Instead, he reveals the dystopia of Oceania gradually through small but powerful images. The ever-present surveillance cameras, the oppressive propaganda posters, the chilling slogans like "War is peace" and "Freedom is slavery." These details create a sense of unease that builds the novel, and until we feel as trapped as the protagonist, Winston Smith. One of the most powerful and important lessons writers can take from 1984 is the power of subtle world building. Orwell doesn't over-explain how this dystopian society works. Instead, he trusts the reader to piece things together from the clues he provides. This creates a sense of immersion and also makes the reader an active participant in uncovering the horrors of this world. Another striking element of 1984 is Orwell's use of language, particularly the concept of newspeak. This fictional language, designed to limit free thought, is a brilliant example of how writers can use linguistics invention to reinforce the themes of their stories. For Orwell, language isn't just a tool for communication, it's a tool for control. By shrinking the vocabulary, the regime in 1984 aims to shrink the range of human thoughts. As writers, this reminds us of the immense power of language has to shape not only our stories, but also our readers' perception of the world within those stories. As for folks who journal, this is also a powerful lesson as well. The language you use to write your entry can really dictate how you are going to feel when you start picking up your journal and read those older entries again. The choice of negative or positive vocabularies can also determine the pattern of thoughts that you usually have and will also affect your mood and your perception of your entries when you start reading them again later. So, choose your words wisely. So, the big takeaway of 1984 is that less can be more. When you're world building, focus on the small details that create an emotional response in your readers. And don't forget that language itself can be a powerful tool to reinforce the themes and ideas in your story. Now, let's go to a novel that captures the innocence of youth and the complexity of growing up in a world marked by injustice. Our next book is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Our third novel is To Kill a Mockingbird. This novel is a profound exploration of morality, empathy, and justice, told through the eyes of Scout Finch, a young girl growing up in the racially charged American South in the 1930s. What makes this book stand out from a writer's perspective is its use of narrative voice. By telling the story from Scout's point of view, Harper Lee gives us a unique perspective on the serious issues like racism and injustice. Scout is only 6 years old when the novel begins, so her innocence and naivety shape how we, as readers, experience the events of the story. Here's the genius part. Even though Scout is young and doesn't fully understand the world around her, the reader still does. Harper Lee balances Scout's childlike perspective with a deeper understanding of the societal issues she's witnessing. This creates a powerful contrast between what Scout sees and what we know as adults, making the novel's theme hit even harder. As writers, the lesson here is that narrative perspective is everything. Choosing the right voice for your journal or for your story can change how readers interpret and engage with your theme. Using Scout's perspective, Harper Lee allows us to see the world through the eyes of a child, which brings both clarity and emotional depth to complex social issues. Another key element in To Kill a Mockingbird is its exploration of moral courage. Atticus Finch, Scout's father, is the moral backbone of the story, and his quiet, steadfast commitment to justice is one of the most compelling aspects of the novel. Through Atticus, Harper Lee teaches us that courage isn't always loud or brash. Sometimes it's about doing what's right, and even when it's difficult or unpopular. The takeaway here is don't shy away from difficult themes. If you're writing a journal about complex social issues, consider how your choice of narrator can shape the reader's understanding of those themes. And remember, sometimes the most powerful characters are the ones who stand firm in their beliefs, even when the world around them is crumbling. So that wraps up the first 3 out of the 10 novels that I would like to recommend to you guys. Over the next few days, I will continue this series with some more incredible classics, and I hope you guys find this type of small series helpful. And again, if you have any novel recommendations, please let me know in the comment section below. And before we wrap up, please head over to awritingguy.com for more writing instruments reviews, articles, and writing goods. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.